What's going on, y'all? This is Nick with Bear Family Farms. Today I wanted to come over here down the road at a property that we lease where we have our billy kids at the moment. And this property has no infrastructure as far as goat fence. So for over the last 2 years we've been using this electric netting that Premier1 makes. They make it in various different heights. I think there's a 36 inch and then a 48 inch. We like to use the 36 inch for multiple reasons. One, it's cheaper and a little bit shorter so the deer can jump over it easier. A lot of people say, well, what about my deer? What about the deer in my area? Are they going to get caught up in the fence? And over the last 2 years that I've been using this stuff, I have not had a deer caught in this fence once. They might have torn it down, but they've never got caught in it. They've never died from it. This particular fence is like about, I think, 10 acres, 15 acres. I can't remember exactly. We'll do a quick drive around here in a little bit. But it gets powered by a solar charger that we'll go over here in a second, and I'll walk you through it. But yeah, that's one of the main questions I get about, what about the wildlife? What about the deer? And this property has been virtually untouched for the last at least 10 years, probably more like 15 or 20 years. Nothing's really been knocked down in there. It's heavily wooded. And we came in with the tractor. We shredded some paths down to put this stuff up. And I mean, like I said, wildlife are still here. We're still seeing them on the game cameras. We're still seeing them out and about. The turkey, the deer, the pigs, all that good stuff. Once they see it, they get used to it. They know what that white fence is. So we'll do a quick drive around here in a little bit, and then I'll show you. Here's some guard dogs that are in here. That's Worm there, that darker colored brindle looking Anatolian Shepherd crossed with a Great Pyrenees, and then he's only probably about 8 months old. He's going to be a hoss. And there is cross with a Anatolian Shepherd and an Akbash. And then we just went over what Worm was. So, but yeah, let's do a quick drive around on the wheeler and we'll take a look at this stuff. Real quick, I wanted to show you guys how these strands connect to each other. As you can see, these are about 160-foot rolls, 65-foot rolls. They come in, and you connect them just like that. The fence is on right now, so I'm obviously not going to touch it. but those clip together, and then that keeps the electric current flowing through all these strands. That bottom strand there is not hot, but everything after that is hot. And once you get your goats broke to this, guys, it is a lifesaver, money saver, not to mention it is a predator deterror as well. Like I said, these rolls, the 36-inch rolls, I think right now are going for about $1 a foot, maybe a little less. I think it's about $130 for a 165-foot roll of that 36-inch stuff, and then that 48-inch stuff's a little bit more expensive. I think that's more like $1 a foot, so you're looking at about $165 a roll. But all around, I mean, you can get you a couple of these, and if you got leased land and you want to run goats or sheep or anything, this stuff is great. I mean, once we found it and we learned how to use it and we learned how to pick it up and move it and store it and all that stuff, I'll show you guys that probably later on videos, how to take it down once we take it down. But let's run over here and we'll take a look at what charges this little 10-acre, 12-acre section of heavily wooded area. Just take a look at that wooded area, folks. That stuff is heavily wooded with a lot of oak trees. So there's a lot of acorns in there for those goats to still eat. A lot of still old grass that, you know, is not, everything's burnt up right now in our part of Texas. We're really needing some rain, and we're supposed to get some on Wednesday, but with that comes with freezing temperature, so it might end up being snow and sleet, but we'll take anything we can get at the moment right now. Tanks are starting to dry up, and just hadn't been a good winter so far. But we're making it. We're making it work, and let's go over here and take a look at this this charger. So in there, folks, there's my charger. I don't know if you guys can hear it clicking. But I'm going to go ahead and check it, the voltage, before I turn it off with this thing. Make sure that battery's staying hot and whatnot. So let's take a look at what we got on the end of the current. Yeah, so we're maxing out this bad boy right now. It's over 10,000 kilovolts. And trust me when I say it ain't fun to get shocked by that thing. I've gotten shocked multiple times, but this is about 20 and 25 rolls of this stuff off this one charger, and I've ran more off of this charger. It's a good quality charger. It's a little bit pricey, but it works, and I've used a lot of different other chargers. We'll get to that in a second, but first off here, folks, I'm going to show you, as you can see, that's a T-post with some 2-inch PVC wrapped around it. So that PVC obviously insulates that pole, and I'm able to, you know, tie off to it, and then I can make a gate. So every time I come in here, I'm not having to turn that charger off. I can just unwrap that that gate, open up that gate, and I'm free to walk in, check the goats, check the feeder, the dog feeder. And then I got the same thing over here. So that's pretty helpful, and it also helps out if you want to use them to make stability as well, to tie off to for more stability. But you also can get these little cheap stability poles to add in on curves and right angles and whatnot. Those I get those at Tractor Supply. They're about $2 a post, and I put those in every now and then for if I got a curve or something that I need to take a look at. But as you can see, it hooks on the hot wire, hooks onto that little clip there, and it travels the current all through those nettings. Then I got 2 grounding rods hooked on there. But I like to keep this water trough over this charger to keep the wind chill and rain and stuff off the charger, as well as the battery. It makes the battery last a lot longer, and plus, you know, your solar panel deal. I don't remember how big the panel is for this specific one. I think it's this is a 50 watt solar panel. I'll put the link in the comments for that one, as well as all this other good stuff. But we picked this up, and you can hear it obviously clicking away. My battery there. And I got holes and stuff drilled in to keep the wires all neat. You got your hot wire coming in the side there, and then your ground wires coming on over here. Oh, there it is. You can get any kind of toolbox. This one's particularly 26 inches. Sometimes if you got a smaller battery, you can fit the battery in there as well, but this battery's a little bit bigger than all my other ones. But this particular charger, folks, Cyclops makes it. As you can see, it's a 5 joule output charger, and you can hear that bad boy going. You can see here I got two different clips here. You got your hot. I'll take that off. We'll go ahead and turn it off. There's no switch to this, folks. The way I turn them off, I just take it off. I make sure to disconnect the solar panel, as well as all to the battery and to the charger. So usually when you hear it stop popping, it ain't on no more. So this particular cord comes straight from the actual charger. This deal here comes out the side there. That little hole goes onto the side of this charger. Bam. And then I got more cords coming out. These are what charges the solar panel. A lot of times, this is just a regular old deep cell battery, but I have a lot of marine batteries that I run this stuff on too, and they'll have two little nipples. They'll have a nipple here and a nipple there, and that lets me be able to, hook on one hot, or here one hot, and then put this one here on the hot, and then the same thing for over here. But this particular one doesn't, so I just hook on the charger one, just like that. And then I just hook on this black one to it as well. I do the same thing for the hot side. And that keeps that battery charged. I mean, this battery's been out here for 2 months. It has never gone dead. Solar panel works great. Just got to make sure to keep that on dusty days and stuff. Make sure you keep that solar panel very wiped off and whatnot. And you also have your controller here, so this all hooks on. It's pretty self-explanatory. I'll put the link in the comments for this bad boy too. But you can see your solar panel and then your battery, and you just trace out the lines, and it's pretty darn simple. And when it's hooked on, you get blinking lights going. Right now it's obviously red because nothing's hooked up. But that's the basics of that one, folks. Like I said, I like to keep it in there, keep that. I don't think this particular one is waterproof or whatever the heck you want to call it, but I keep these out here and keep them dry, and it works great. And then you got this one requires 2 grounding rods, and as you can see, I got 2 grounding rods on it, 6 feet apart, obviously. And then I also got this board underneath this battery. Whenever you keep batteries on concrete and bare ground, they're more likely to drain out faster and then stop working, and that piece of wood there takes that element away. But that is the gist, folks, of how we do these things. We use these a lot, especially just starting out on our new property, or any new property or leased property. You can bring this stuff in, and once your goats are broke to it, the possibilities are endless. Another question I get about this stuff, guys, is how does it hold up in the weather? This stuff works great. I mean, I've had it through 20-30 mile-an-hour winds, and it stays up. I've had it in rain and snow, and it stays up. The only thing this fence does not like is ice. It does not hold up very good against the ice. It falls over sometimes from the weight of that ice. But as far as snow and rain and all that stuff, this stuff is great. This fence has been up probably since, I don't know, December, and I've had no issues with it. I've had nettings up for as long as 6-8 months, and they're in the ground, and they stay in the ground, especially in dry conditions. Out here, our soil's like clay almost, and whenever that stuff hardens up, it's like concrete having to pull it out of the ground. But as far as getting it into the ground with harder or hot weather and it hadn't rained much, sometimes you got to go through with a little 1/8 inch or 1/4 inch drill bit, drill some pre-pilot holes and stick it in there, and then as soon as you get rain, it kind of just dirt flows in and it seals itself up. But this stuff is strong, it's sturdy, I love it. It's a game changer for folks like us that we don't have a lot of capital as far as building fence and whatnot, and this stuff is great. It is wonderful. We love it. I'll pick some other videos up later on down the road whenever we take this stuff down, and how we take it down, how we roll it up, how we store it, how we put it back up. At the moment, this is the only fence we have up, so this is the only one we have to come and check every couple days, make sure it's still on, make sure it's still hot, make sure it's not down. That's the only downfall to electric fence in general, is making, do your preventative maintenance and making sure everything stays up. As far as with hard fence, you don't have to check it as often. But there's a little snapshot again of what it looks like. And let's go ahead and put it back on and close it up and get out of here. So like I said, you know, you just take your hot, take your ground, and then again, these go to the solar panel. You can already hear it popping. It's back on. You hook that on to the hot or to the ground. You take this deal here, and you're ready to roll. And the fact that you drill holes in the sides and run all the wires through, you're able to get a closed tight on, get a closed tight seal on that bad boy. Kind of shove your excess back up in there, and then put your trough or box or bucket or whatever you want to do it, call it, back on over it, and you prop your solar panel back up, and you're ready to roll. I'll put the link in the comments for all the materials I use here. Put the link in for that netting stuff, for that solar panel, the charger, the controller, and even the fence checker that we use, grounding rods, all that good stuff. And make sure you guys are well equipped on if you guys want to use this setup. It works great, wonderful. Not a lot of bad things about it other than having to pick it up, take it down, and put it back up. But look at those dogs taking a nap. Worm, come here, come here. That's a good looking boy. And these dogs, they know this fence is hot. They don't mess with it. Another plus of this fence, guys, is predator control. It keeps coyotes and stuff out for the most part. If they want to jump over, then they got to deal with those too. I wouldn't want to deal with those two. But for another plus, like I said, is it keeps predators out. I'd like to take the time to thank all y'all that have followed our page. Again, we built this page to kind of help producers, newer producers, or even the older ones on, you know, some efficient ways that you can run these animals with little to no input and low capital, and not having to borrow from the banks and get in debt and all this stuff with borrowing money to build fencing and lean-tos and all that good stuff. So we're going to roll through all the things that we do here, and as we go along, if you guys have questions or comments, let us know, or something that you guys actually want to hear, please do let us know. That's all I got for you guys today. Thank you.